tere jälle, minu nimi on Asten ja tänaseks...
Hello, I'm Asten, and today's topic will be honey and the different forms of honey, and how the different forms of honey are achieved. Asten Honey also has a line of honey processing equipment. This is a machine for making creamed honey, and we will talk about it more closely today. The most traditional way to bottle honey is to spin liquid honey into the jar, letting the honey crystallize there. This kind of honey certainly looks very nice, has some honey frost. But what's the problem of this honey? For the consumer, this honey is definitely inconvenient to use. Beekeepers can praise it as the best honey of the highest quality, and they would be 100% right. But when consumers start to eat it at home, or when we give it to a kid to eat, then what happens? It is difficult to take out. This is a trait of honey that consumers regard as a problem. 90% of people love liquid honey, and that's entirely natural. Liquid honey seems to be so fresh and convenient. Good for spreading on pancakes. That's how all of us imagine what honey should be like. But it is very clear that melting honey for packaging and keeping it liquid in the jar certainly doesn't improve the quality of honey. Diligent beekeepers melt honey at 40 to 45 degrees Celsius, and it doesn't mean anything bad, but will not add the quality of honey. During the melting process, lighter essential oils tend to evaporate, and it's not the best solution. Creamed honey can solve this problem. Creamed honey is in a crystallized form, but thanks to this machine, the honey is at room temperature, spreadable on bread, and very convenient to use. It doesn't drip. It's spreadable on bread like butter, and it remains soft over a much longer period, for a year or even longer. This honey has not been warmed up and has not been damaged. At the same time, it is very smooth. Asten Honey offers honey mixers of various sizes. This is a 120-liter mixer. We also make 230-liter and 1000-liter honey mixers. What is the principle of making creamed honey? Some type of honey, like white clover honey and some others, have a creamy consistency from the very start. Creamy butter means that honey crystals are very fine, and honey is smooth after crystallization. Smooth means that it can be scooped with a plastic spoon at room temperature. Unfortunately, or luckily, it is the nature of honey that 90% of various types of honey turn rock hard during crystallization. It is very hard to scoop it from the jar. We need a machine to make creamed honey. This needs to have a mixer. This machine stirs the honey 2.5 to 3 times a minute. We can program stirring cycles here. There will be 5, to 6 30-minute mixing cycles during 24 hours. We advise to keep the honey at 50 degrees Celsius to make creamed honey. 50 degrees guarantees the fastest crystallization of honey, and honey will be creamed the quickest. If we only have one type of honey, we just have to pour or pump liquid honey into the mixer and program the stirring cycles. It will take 2 to 4 weeks for honey to be creamed, depending on its nature. To speed up the process, if we have honey with fine crystals, let's call it leaven. Then we can mix honey that has fine crystals with liquid honey. It speeds up the crystallization process of honey, and we can get creamed honey in 2 weeks. The machine is equipped with a heating system. If the room temperature is lower than 50 degrees, the machine will keep honey at 50 degrees, or we can turn it higher. Even if the room temperature is above 50 degrees, it will not be a bad thing. Just that the process of honey crystallization will be somewhat longer. This is a message to all beekeepers that if we wish to supply consumers with honey of highest quality, then that's creamed honey. And you need a honey mixer to make creamed honey. Thank you. Take a look at our other videos and find us on Facebook. See you next time. If you have any questions or suggestions about the content of the video, leave a comment. If you want to see more of our activities, please like and subscribe.